Southern Sins is a true crime podcast intended for mature audiences. This show contains extreme language, graphic content, and discussions of real-life violence that may be disturbing for some listeners. Listeners' discretion is advised.
It's Lexi
and JJ,
and this is
Southern Sins. We're just gonna dive right in because we have fucked up one too many times.
Oh my god.
Our serial killer is Ronald Joseph Dominique. He was born January 9th, 1964 in Thibodaux, Louisiana, a town between New Orleans and Baton Rouge, where locals often heard each other's business through the grapevine. And the grapevine was saying that Ronald's mother was having an affair. So one day when Ronald was younger, his father picked him up and his siblings, and they drove to their mother's brother's house. When they got there, they found Ronald's mother in bed with her brother, and they caught them in the middle of it. ...
Well, yes, because I didn't exactly know how to grasp that, but he uses that as an excuse at one point.
Right. Ronald went to Thibodaux High School, and he was part of the Glee Club. He sang in his school choir. Former classmates recalled him being bullied because of suspicion of his sexuality, though he never admitted to being gay. As he grew older, Ronald appeared to live in two worlds. In his small trailer park where he lived, he was known as a helpful neighbor. However, the local gay community, he was remembered differently, often seen performing awkward
impersonations.
I was getting there.
I'm sorry. She's reading my notes.
Of Patti LaBelle at clubs. Neither community fully accepted him. He was not well liked among his peers in the gay community. Through much of his adulthood, Ronald faced financial difficulties, often relying on his mother for other relatives. Couch hopping. In the weeks leading up to his arrest, he was living with his sister in a single wide trailer. His health had sharply declined when he had been hospitalized for a severe heart condition and was using a cane to walk. Like mentioned earlier, Ronald showed as interest in helping others, which I don't believe that.
I think, like others, he was just using it as a facade.
Yeah, something. Just months before his arrest, he joined the Lions Club, where he spent Sunday afternoons calling bingo numbers for senior citizens. Wow.
Yeah, he was around like a bunch of old people all the time.
According to the membership directors, he was well liked by those he met through the club, suggesting he may finally found a place where he felt accepted. Ronald did eventually leave his sister's home to live in a homeless shelter, but he never said why. Some spectators
speculate.
Oh my god. I can't. It's so hard reading your handwriting.
I know.
And it's not even because it's bad.
My handwriting is just, I get focused and I'm trying to transcribe all these notes and I'm like, hey, I could go back over these later, and I never do. So this is raw material, straight out of my brain.
Some speculate that his family became uneasy with constant police surveillance, or perhaps Ronald knew he was about to get arrested and he distanced himself to spare his family from further involvement. Ronald had a criminal record that included arrest for forcible rape, disturbing the peace, and telephone harassment. On June 12, 1985, he was arrested and charged with telephone harassment. He had pleaded guilty and was fined $74, along with the court cost. On May 15, 1994, he was arrested and charged with driving while intoxicated and speeding. August 25th, 1996, Ronald was arrested on forcible rape charges and booked with a $100,000 bond.
Yeah, so during all of his active arrests, he was also actively murdering people.
Well, I'm pretty sure it was like one of his arrests. He was not active yet.
I don't think
like
so.
His
but
first arrest, he wasn't active yet.
Well, I know that he was active from 1997 to 2006. So I know that.
Yeah.
But either way, he was in the system.
Right.
He was in the system.
A lot.
The
neighbors on that case reported that a particularly dressed young man Oh. Damn. Partly dressed young man escaped from Ronald's home, screaming that he attempted to kill him. However, when the case went to court, the victim had not been found to testify. He just disappeared.
Yeah, pretty much. Gone.
Yeah. Gone like the wind. Leading the judge to continue the
conviction.
Yeah. What?
I'm pretty sure that's what that says.
That says continue. Continued the case in November 1996.
Oops.
Did you mean continue?
Yeah.
Okay. May 19th, 2000, Ronald received a summons. Yes. Oh. He was summoned. Like a demon.
I mean, he looks like a thumb.
That, though.
But, yeah, he was summoned to court for,
charges of disturbing the peace.
Yeah.
And it was a misdemeanor.
Yes.
And he pled guilty.
Yes.
And paid a fine to avoid court appearance.
Yeah.
On February 10th, 2002, Ronald was arrested in Terrebonne Parish after...
Terrebonne.
Oh. I said Terrebonne. I was close. Terrebonne Parish, and I live here.
You do.
Terrebonne Parish, after allegedly slapping a woman during a Mardi Gras parade. If you ain't been, you wouldn't know. Reports indicate that he accused her of hitting a baby stroller in a parking lot. Although the woman apologized, Ronald continued to verbally assault her and then slapping her across the face. He was arrested but obtained OPTED. What is that word? Opted?
That is an actual word. Stop looking at it like that.
Opted to enter a parish offenders program.
Yes.
What? Hold on. How do you go from hitting a girl to a sex offender?
No, that's completely different.
Oh.
He was just...
Oh.
It's kind of like community service.
I didn't read that right.
No, but he slapped a woman at Mardi Gras, and because she supposedly hit a baby stroller.
I am so sorry for all the times that I stop and everything.
It's okay.
It is.
I want to
been a
know if that
long
was an
day.
actual thing. Like, if she actually hit the baby stroller.
She could have. I mean, shit.
I want to know if it actually
She
happened.
said that she was. He said that she was speeding and driving recklessly. And I believe it. It was Mardi Gras. And if, like I said, if you haven't been, you wouldn't know.
Best way to explain that. But continue.
But he was opted to enter a parish offenders program instead of going to trial. He actually met all the conditions of his program by October 2002. That was not very long.
No, and he was very much active in serial murder.
Yeah. Actually, like, a few years active. Quite a few years active.
Yeah, so the first thing that whenever he got arrested for the possible rape, that's whenever he got
Active.
yeah, because he got diddled in prison.
Right. And on top of that, he didn't want to go back to prison
So that's
to get diddled again.
Yeah. So
So he diddled other people and then murdered them.
yes. Indeed. Indeed.
Well, speaking of the people that he diddled and murdered, the first victim is David Mitchell.
I don't know if we said it or not, but he killed 23 people, and they were all men of high-risk lifestyles. They were either homeless,
Or
some of
gay.
them, yeah, and at the time, in the gay community, it was either you're in the tight-knit or you're in the outskirts, and very scary times back then for gay people, but they lived high-risk lifestyles. I mean, some of them were extreme drug abusers,
Or alcohol users.
or alcohol abusers.
I said users.
I said abusers because they were just looking for a time to get fucked up.
Yeah.
So.
Like we weren't.
No, but I'm not gonna get in a strange man's vehicle just because he's promising me a bottle of Jaeger. And I'm not making fun of the victims. I'm not at all. But I was just stating how they were abusing the substance, and it eventually
Led to that.
led to that.
But
Because they were putting themselves in terrible situations. And we've both put ourselves in terrible situations, and I am so glad that we have survived. But, first victim.
is David Mitchell. Mitchell.
Yeah, Mitchell.
July 1997 is when he was found.
Yeah.
Most of his victims had been found, like, way after, and since they were homeless and everything, they didn't really go missing.
Yeah, a lot of them didn't go reported.
So there's no date.
Yeah, there is gonna be some of these.
the month that
or
we found them.
even an estimated time frame, because
Right.
here in Louisiana, the heat, the rain, the
swamps,
and
alligators.
nature does its course, but she speeds it up if it's left out.
Right.
I'm just
It'd be
saying.
hot here.
It'd be hot. So, and he never buried his victims either.
No,
He
just left them.
He just dropped them in rural areas where people would not often be at.
Right. Like ditches on the side of the highway and shit.
Yeah, and these would be like culvert ditches where they hold water.
Right.
So that washes away even more evidence, and it speeds up the decomp process.
Yes.
So heat, elements, like it
It just made it 10 times worse.
it did. And even trying to identify these people.
Yeah, it was hard.
It was hard. And at the time,
They couldn't
Derek
really...
Todd Lee and Sean Vincent Gillis was active, too.
Yes, so they were...
And they were killing women.
Yeah.
And it was usually women of high stature and...
Right. Which was definitely completely different cases.
Well, I mean, some of their victims, they lived some risky lifestyles, but they were women, and a lot of them were white women at the time. Right. And that took a lot of the news and camera eyes and everything onto them.
Right.
Because a lot of Ronald's victims are African American.
Yes. But David Mitchell was 19 years old. David was picked up by Ronald after hitchhiking alone after leaving his grandma's house after a relative's birthday party. His body was discovered July 14th in a ditch along the highway near a wooded area in St. Charles Parish, 2 days after he had been seen last. Forensics research showed that there was water from the ditch found in David's lungs, but found no trace of physical trauma, drugs, or alcohol. David's death was first ruled as an accidental drowning. However, David's father insisted that his son was an excellent swimmer and that he had been murdered since the water level was lower and his pants had been lowered to his ankles after he was found. Wait.
The water level was at his ankles, I believe, is what it was.
Either way, but his pants were lowered too.
Well, yeah, because he didn't really take time to redress them either.
No.
Like, after he did what he did, he didn't try to keep any of the evidence either. Right. So he didn't want anything to be left at his home, which technically was his sister's home.
For a while. Yeah.
But
anyway.
Yeah.
After Ronald later confesses, David's family denied that David was gay, used drugs. Wait, yeah. Okay. David's family denied that David was gay, used drugs, or had any issues with money, which I don't know.
The reason I don't know.
If he didn't have, well, either way.
He could have been still in the closet. And his family didn't know, and he was going out to these gay bars because that's where Ronald met a lot of his victims were at in the New Orleans gay bars.
Right.
Because because New Orleans, Baton Rouge, South Louisiana was a safe haven for the LGBTQ plus community, and still is.
Yeah, it is.
I love Louisiana.
I do too.
Besides this.
Right.
But we're a beautiful state. Besides this.
His sectant. Oh my god. Second victim was Gary Pierce, right?
Pierre.
Fancy.
It's a French-Spanish name.
Nice. Gary Pierre was initially found in December of 1997. He was 20 years old. Gary had recently been arrested for drug trafficking and it was sometime Hold on. Yeah, it was sometime in November of 1997. I have no idea where my brain was going. When he was found strangled and his body was found fully clothed.
Yeah.
With no signs of physical trauma or drugs found in his system. So they thought they thought that one was, like, gang-related.
Yeah.
I read that.
Yeah, they thought that his was gang-related because he had priors of drug activity and drug trafficking. And he was known to be affiliated with some gangs. Yeah. If I remember correctly, one of his victims had told his family that he had owed a drug, like a loan shark money.
Yeah.
Or something.
Some shit.
And shortly after that, he disappeared, and that's whenever they found his body, and his relatives had said to police that he had borrowed money from a loan shark, and he had missed the due payment.
Day.
Yeah, payment day. I think that's him.
Yeah. His third victim was Larry Ranson. He was found July 31st, 1998. He was 38 years old. He sadly suffered, like many, with drug abuse, and he was homeless. Larry was lured by Ronald with the promise of drugs, and he was strangled, and the first of Ronald's victims to be tied down.
Yeah, so, with Gary and David's, they didn't find any ligature marks or anything like that. And yeah, the bondage started coming in because Ronald was not the type for confrontation. Okay, no. So even if one of these people said no, he would let them go because he wasn't the type to fight.
Right.
He was also a short man.
Very short.
And obese.
And looked like a thumb.
With facial hair just
taped to it.
Oh. Yeah. He just... After he was able to get them where he wanted them, that was it.
They were his.
And that's sad.
Yeah. His fourth victim was Oliver Lee Banks. He was found October 1998, and he was 27 years old. When he met Ronald in October 1998, Ronald said that Oliver offered sexual services for money, which Ronald agreed to, but afterwards Ronald beat and strangled him. Oliver's body was found later on the outskirts of Metairie.
Oh, that was another one that we were supposed to look up.
Shit.
Pull it up on your phone real quick. Hold on. Pause.
And it is called Metairie, Louisiana.
Yeah. We had to look it up real quick.
Because Louisiana has some weird parish names. And we're the only state that has parishes.
Yes. Fun fact.
On October 4th. The autopsy found traces of semen on Oliver's body that helped link Ronald to his murder later on in the case.
Yeah, I think that was the only one that they were able to find evidence on at that point in time, because I think they found him a lot sooner than they did the other victims.
Yeah, and I don't think he was dumped in water.
No.
Ronald Dominique's fifth victim was Joseph Brown. He was found October 1998, within the same month.
Wasn't he the youngest?
Yeah, he was 16 years old. He was, I have no idea. He was a Lexi writing.
Okay. He was a 16-year-old boy from Kenner, Louisiana.
Oh, bitch, I couldn't see that.
What do you mean?
I don't know, I couldn't see. I thought it said a burglar. Or really did. I thought it said a burglar. A burglar old boy from Kinder, Louisiana. That's really what I thought it said. Or a burger. But
Are you hungry?
It's because of the writing.
Do you want
on
a
the other
burger?
side. No. Maybe.
I want a burger.
Low-key.
Okay.
Anyway, he was a 16-year-old boy from Kinder, Louisiana. Ronald told Joseph that he would sell him cocaine if he followed him to his truck, which they did drugs together. After that, Ronald beat the boy multiple times with a blunt object and then strangled him with a plastic bag. The fact that he could do cocaine, which he already has an adrenaline rush from wanting to kill these people. So the fact that you could do cocaine, get another adrenaline
rush.
Yeah.
But it's
and
crazy.
then kill them again is just crazy.
Because he's taken very little to no breaks during all of this, by the way.
Right. Like, at all.
Also, he felt the only way that he could actually have sex with people is if they were tied down and he had full control.
Yeah. Which was really weird.
Yeah, there was no safe words with him.
His sixth victim, only a month later, Bruce Williams, was found in November 1997. What? Bitch, how'd you go down a year?
I don't know.
Look at this. How did you go down a year?
Hold on. My brain probably stopped working. Where are we at?
You went down a year.
Oh, no, that's an 8. My finger cramped.
Oh my god.
That's an 8. I'm sorry.
Well, like I said, it was only a month later.
Yeah.
I knew that, but when I went to go read it, it said 1997.
Yeah, he did not go back in time.
No. This one was 18 years old. Bruce Williams was 18 years old when he fell victim, Lexi.
Yeah. My brain stopped working.
Fell victim to Ronald sometime in November 1998 as strangled, and he was strangled and beaten in a similar way that Joseph Brown was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They wouldn't, I could not find very much information on that one, except that he was very similar to Joseph Brown.
Yeah. His seventh victim was Manuel Reed. He was 21 years old who wandered Kinder, Louisiana when one day in May of 1999, Ronald was driving around and then he stopped to talk to Manuel. When he offered to sell him drugs, Manuel agreed, and Ronald led him into his truck, where he sexually assaulted and then strangled Manuel. Whatever. Later, he dumped his body in a dumpster in the city's industrial zone.
Industrial. In trials. Pretty sure that means
Maybe
organs.
a mile out from where Joseph Brown's body was found. Autopsy reports said that there was semen traces found. I said semen.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said fumin.
Semen traces were found that matched the DNA sample from Oliver Lee Banks' body.
Yeah, so they had made a match to the DNA that was found on Oliver Lee Banks' body to his body, but they could not find whose DNA that was. They just knew that.
But he was in the system, so I think that's
But
bullshit.
that was in a different parish. He was in a system in a different parish. What happened here is that these people weren't reported as missing, and these bodies were popping up all over the place, but the damn sheriff's department never talked. Nobody ever talked to each other. They just knew a body was popping up here. A body was popping up here. You could eat the last cookie. I keep seeing you picking around at the crumbs. You could have the last cookie. It's okay.
Ouch.
I'm just saying.
Anyway.
You've been picking around it all afternoon. You could just have the cookie.
Okay. Shut the fuck up. Oh my god. His 8th victim was Angel. How did. Maja? No. Mija? No. Shit. And this is why we apologize.
Oh, yeah. We are trying.
I don't know. I personally cannot say it. So, Angel. Hey, you forgot to put an L.
Oh.
It's Angel.
Angel. Oh, hold on.
Angie. Angie. Look.
Misha.
It's Angie.
I was so tired. Okay, but it's
Look,
Misha.
so she has all the time in the world to do this shit. I don't. And she gonna say she's tired.
Because I do
But
it.
she can stop whenever.
But if I stop, then I won't do it. It's called dedication.
Right.
But it's Misha. Angel Misha.
Okay.
I think. I'm sorry. If not, I just apologize.
She was 21 years old.
He.
Oh. That's right. I think Angel and I think she.
I had a cousin named Angel, so.
Right.
And her name was. Her name. Lord.
Done set it down.
Angel. Yep. It was Angel. But it's a non-gender whatever name.
Anyway. He was 21 years old. He was homeless and he had a past convictions for drug possession. Ronald met Angel in June of 1999. Investigators believe that he used the same method to lure Angel in his truck. Same methods. Not method. That just sounded wrong. Ronald tied Angel before he died?
Yeah. Like I said earlier, after he used the rope the first time, he figured out that the only way that he could perform is having somebody with no control. So they have to be tied up. Sometimes they're already unconscious.
Well.
Yeah.
Anyway. Ronald tied Angel before he died, then took the evidence with him.
Yeah.
What?
That was one of the times that he did take the rope with him, but it was later discarded.
Oh, okay. Well. Nice. Okay. I lost my place. Local police made the connections that Angel, Joseph, and Gary all knew and lived close to each other.
Yeah, so they were all at the same gay scene together. I mean, like I had said earlier, that the South Louisiana was a safe place for the community. And a lot of them knew each other.
Yeah. A lot.
Because you gotta stick together back then. And they still have to.
His 9th victim was Mitchell Johnson. He was 34 years old. In late August 1999, Mitchell met Ronald by offering sexual favors for drugs. Ronald then took Mitchell to the woods outside of Latrine. No. Didn't we just look this one up?
Most likely.
Metairie.
Yep.
Metairie, Louisiana.
Matrain.
I was close. Ronald bound, sexually assaulted, and strangled him.
Bound.
Tied him up.
Yep.
Okay. Mitchell's nude body was found on September 1st. Michael Vincent, his 10th victim, was 23 in January of 2000. He stayed around Lafourche.
Yeah.
Nice. Lafourche Parish. Not much mentioned, but he was murdered in similar ways as the other victims. I wish I could find more. Not my notes.
It is my notes. This is I.
His elected.
I don't think he elected anybody.
No.
I don't even think he was a registered voter.
Probably not. Oh my god. His 11th victim in January 2000, Ronald struck again. Deeming? Damning? I don't know. Claiming? Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Damn. Lexi.
I was writing fast.
I
and my
could
brain
tell.
made a D.
I could tell. Oh my god. I was like, damning. Lord. Anyway, claiming the life of 23-year-old Mitchell Vincent in Lafourche Parish.
Yeah.
This marked another tragic milestone in Ronald's spree as he continued to evade capture. What? To evade capture while leaving a trail of grief and loss in small communities across Louisiana.
Yes. Alright, hand me that paper.
It's Lexi's turn.
It is.
I'm done. I don't like reading, but Lexi and me did this like 8 times and couldn't get past 4 minutes.
No, and it was me starting it off. So
Right.
now I'm gonna take over. In early.
We still had to do it 3 times before I started.
Yeah. Today's just not my day. But
Or
this
mine.
is about to be my next 15 minutes. Maybe. I don't know.
What?
I don't know.
Did you say 15 minutes?
Yeah, I thought I could maybe get it under in like 15 minutes, but probably not. Anyways, in early October 2000, Ronald formed a close association with 20-year-old Kenneth Randolph Jr. I almost said Rudolph.
Because I said Rudolph earlier.
Yeah. Kenneth had been prosecuted 3 times for child molestation.
Yeah.
He had moved to Ronald's trailer park, and that's whenever they met. Ronald one day lured Kenneth into his trailer by telling him that a girl wanted to have sex with him. Which, by the way, I told you earlier
Yeah.
that the photo that he was showing everybody was a photo of his niece.
Yeah. That was pretty bad.
I do not know how old she was in that said photo, but
Right.
yeah.
All I know it was bad.
Yeah.
I wouldn't use family member.
No. Wait,
His niece.
I know that, but don't implicate yourself in crimes.
Oh my god.
Anyways, he lured him into the trailer by telling him that a girl wanted to have sex with him, but whenever Kenneth entered the trailer, Ronald attacked and murdered him. He took Kenneth's body to a field outside the city, where police later found Kenneth's partially naked remains on October 6, 2000. In the late evening of October 12th, 2002, Ronald crossed paths with 26-year-old Anoka Jones on the streets of Houma, Louisiana. Anoka was known to be a petty criminal struggling financially. Ronald attacked Anoka after he had tied him up and raped him. Ronald later dumped Anoka's body under a highway overpass. Anoka was found hours later. So in the same day, they were able to find traces of DNA and all that on him. Because, yeah.
That is. Shit.
Ooh. Okay, and we're back. In late 2002, Ronald and his sister moved to a small community of Bayou Blue, where he took a job checking electricity levels at the local power supply, a role that allowed him to travel periodically. Around this time, Ronald took the life of 19-year-old Detrail Woods. His body was found in a reed field, decomposed and partially naked. Beside him was his bike. His body wasn't found until May 24th of 2003. The police believed that he had died of asphyxiation by accident because Detrail had asthma, but until Ronald's arrest and confessions, then it came out that
Yeah.
But for a while, they all thought different. But October 2004, Ronald was hanging out with 46-year-old Larry Matthews, and Ronald offered Larry drugs, which he agreed, but Larry overdosed and lost consciousness. And I believe Larry was had just became a father.
Yeah. Larry just became a father.
After Larry wasn't conscious, Ronald raped and strangled him. Ronald dumped Larry's body about 20 miles away from the crime scene. Initially, no one reported Larry missing due to him being homeless, and his identity was later confirmed through fingerprints. Ronald's next victim, notably his first white victim, was 21-year-old Michael Barnett. On October 24th, 2004, Michael's body was discovered, marking another tragedy turn in Ronald's escalating pattern of violence. In February 2005, Ronald took the life of 22-year-old Leon Larrett. Leon was a known drunken vagrant, but he once lived with two other victims, Michael Barnett and Anoka Jones. And actually, he was the prime suspect in both of their murders.
Yeah, I seen that.
Michael was the last person on record to see them.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why he was suspected in their murders. Which, imagine.
Right.
Like, bro.
Imagine being caught.
Bro. In April 2005, Ronald met 31-year-old August Watkins, a homeless man whom he had lured to his truck with the purpose of a place to stay for the night. Once they reached Ronald's trailer, he offered August alcohol and offered to have sex with him, with a supposed female friend, which again he showed a picture of his niece.
Right.
And after Ronald tied up August, because he would often use the ruse of, hey, my female friend, my girlfriend, my wife, my whatever this woman is to me, which it's his fucking niece. She was once a domestic violence victim. She is afraid of men, but she'll have sex with you for money or for whatever. And a lot of these men agreed, and that's the only way that he was able to subdue them, was by tying them up. So after he had tied, raped, and strangled Auguste, his body was found. Police began to suspect for the first time that the killer might be operating in Kenner and Houma, Louisiana, as the murders in both areas showed remarkably similar traits.
They all showed similar traits. My bad.
This prompted police to hand the case over to the FBI for further investigation. After only a few days of taking the life of Auguste, Ronald killed 23-year-old Kurt Cunningham, and I wish I had more on him, but I sadly do not. Like I had mentioned before, that these people lived high-risk lifestyles and not very much was reported about them.
Right.
During that summer, Ronald had murdered 28-year-old Alonzo. I'm sorry. Alonzo Hogan in St. Charles Parish.
I don't know why Alonzo looks so weird.
I don't know. Then he struck again in Terrebonne Parish, killing 17-year-old Wayne Smith. In both of their murders, he had told them that they could have sex with this female friend. They just needed to come inside to his trailer. Unlike most of the victims, Alzone and Wayne had no previous crimes and had no history of drug use. Wayne's body was found in a canal, badly decomposed. In September of 2005, Ronald murdered 40-year-old Chris DeVille, who had been trying to hitchhike out of, I'm so sorry if I say this wrong, but Napoleonville, LA, Louisiana, and in the aftermath of Hurricane Katrina, because 2005, Katrina hit, New Orleans was impacted severely, and so was a lot of the southern U.S. But this is a whole nother reason why he was able to go out and do what he did, because Katrina brought in and took out a lot of people. There was so much chaos going on. People trying to prepare for the storms and trying to make sure that their houses and everything are not going to get robbed whenever they leave.
And the homeless not having homes, so they die already.
It's crazy. So a lot of these homeless people, they will try to bunker together and save housing, and imagine thinking that you're going somewhere safe to get away from the storm, and you die.
Right.
From a completely different reason. You're out here worrying about drowning.
If I'm gonna die from the storm, and then it's just, oh, this nice dude offered me a place for the night. Let's go. And it's not how that went. No. I died from him and not the storm.
Yeah. And I think he abused that a lot of the time, because people were offering safe housing, and at times like that, the storms bring Louisiana together. Hurricanes, it brings us together, and it's supposed to bring out the most human part of you.
Right.
But, anyways, Ronald later disposed of Chris's body in a nearby reed field, just like a few other of his murders, and a month later his skeletal remains were discovered and identified by relatives.
Like we said, it's so hot here.
Yeah, aided only by ID cards and other personal items found beside him.
Right.
So he was one of the few to be identified quickly.
Right.
In November, Ronald killed 21-year-old Nicholas Pelegrin. Yeah. In Lafourche Parish. Lafourche Parish. Nicholas's family had told police that he had borrowed $400 from local drug dealers and had missed the payment period, which in return got him death threats, and that leading police believe his death was drug related. I'm sorry, we had said something along the lines earlier, I believe, that somebody else, we got our details mixed up. And if that was just a different recording and I'm thinking too much about it,
You're probably just thinking.
Ignore me. Anyways, Ronald's last confirmed victim was 27-year-old Christopher Shutterfield, a bisexual man. He had met in the summer of 2006. The two began dating, but on October 14th, during a date in Iberville Parish, Ronald hit Christopher over the head with a heavy object, knocking him unconscious. When the police discovered his body, they interviewed his friends, family, and acquaintances. All confirmed that he had been seen with a man driving a black SUV, but no one could provide a description of his companion's appearance. So, they were dating, they were in a relationship, but
nobody could say who he was.
Yeah, nobody could say who he was because Christopher didn't say anything. He was in the closet to his family and to a good handful of his friends, and I'm sure he wasn't trying to flash that ugly son of a bitch around.
Right.
But in the gay community, he was a bisexual man. Anyways, in November of 2006, Ronald became a police suspect after Ricky Wallace, a known drug addict and was a resident at Bayou Blue, reported that Ronald had lured him into his trailer earlier that year with an offer of drugs and the promise to have sex with a girl. Again, his niece.
Yeah, that's so bad. So disgusting.
By the way, the whole reason why police figured this out is because they started talking to each other, and eventually they started talking to each other, and the police were like, all right, parole officers, talk to your parolees, see if there's anything out there on the streets going on. And Ricky had told his parole officer what had happened, because his parole officer was like, hey man, any weird shit going on? And he was like, oh yeah, you know what, this happened to me the other day, ha ha ha.
Right.
If he only knew. Ricky said that Ronald let him leave because Ricky had said, oh wait, I'm sorry, I jumped a little bit. Once inside, Ronald tried persuading Ricky to be tied up, claiming that his girlfriend was into bondage, because he said that Ronald had used the ruse of that his girlfriend was a domestic violence victim and that she's afraid of men, but she'll have sex with him for whatever,
as long as he is tied up, because Ronald don't like confrontation. If you are able to fight him, he's not going to want to mess with you. Right. So that's why he likes to tie you.
Yeah. After Ricky had said no, that wasn't his scene, Ronald let him leave. His testimony was questioned at first because he was a known drug abuser, but Ronald was questioned by police nonetheless. While talking with police, he actually agreed to a DNA sample.
Yeah. But he really could have said no.
He could have said no. He had every right to say no. But he didn't. But within a week, Ronald's DNA proved to be a match of the semen on the bodies of Oliver LeBancs and Manuel Reed, leading to him having a warrant for his arrest. On December 1st, 2006, he was arrested at a homeless shelter. And at the police station, Ronald confessed to 23 murders, giving details that only the police would know. Despite his confession, he pleaded not guilty, claiming that his victims had consented to certain acts for money and that he had spared the ones who refused. don't understand why he went with that defense.
Right.
But he said that Ronald claimed that his motive was to take out any witnesses as he did not want to go back to prison. He said that his 1996 rape arrest left a lasting impact, leading to ongoing negative emotions and possible mental disorders. On September 24th of 2008, after accepting a plea deal, Ronald was found guilty on all charges and sentenced to 8 life terms without parole. By pleading guilty, he avoided the death penalty and is now incarcerated at Louisiana State Penitentiary in Angola. That is all. He is very much alive.
Yeah. Very much.
I'm honestly speechless about it still, because so much went on here. Just like the other cases, if people talked, things would have happened.
Right.
People would have been stopped.
That part.
People would have been found or noticed like they were missing.
Right.
Oh.
Well, that is technically the end of that.
Yeah, it is. But pictures of him will be uploaded on the Instagram and Facebook. People, stay together. Lock your doors. Check your windows.
Have curtains.
Have curtains. Don't have a routine. Stay chaotic. Stay unplanned.
And don't hate too hard.
We love you.
This is Southern Sense.
Yep.
And that's the end of the episode.
Yep. Deuces, bitches.